Yeah, but Tavis, that's not in my heart. I wasn't coming for anyone like that. I apologize, but that was not me. That's not in my heart. And like I said a few moments ago, I have a solid, demonstrable record of shared power that's real and concrete. That can't be misinterpreted.
Join Tavis Smiley and an all-star panel of political insiders, influencers, and journalists for a look back at the crisis that shook LA City Hall when 4 Latino leaders were caught on tape making racist, demeaning, and derogatory statements about black people and other fellow citizens on Monday, October 9th, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. The tape, 1 year later. Will broadcast live an afternoon drive from 5 to 7 p.m. with an immediate encore presentation from 7 to 9 p.m. When all was said and done, was more said than done. 1 year later. Are there fractures in LA's black-brown political partnership? And where do we go from here? Don't miss The Tape, 1 year later. Only on KBLA Talk 1580, Monday, October 9th, live from 5 to 7 p.m. with an immediate encore presentation from 7 to 9 p.m. We've got a lot to talk about.
So much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard being Snoop Dogg, but I somehow, someway keep coming up with funky ass hits like every single day. May I kick a little something for the G's and make a few ends as I breeze through. 2 in the morning.
You were locked into hour 2 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. And of course, you know, we're bringing it back with Snoop because Gin and Juice 1 is a classic.
You know, I'm so mad that he canceled that performance at the Hollywood Bowl with the orchestra. Oh my God, I'm triggered.
And the Writers Guild strike is over, so he could have done it because it was for his birthday.
Oh, I hope he reschedules it and puts. It's too soon.
He's not
gonna be able to pull that off.
Year.
Oh my
I'm
God,
so sad. I wanted to be there. Shout out to you, Snoopy. Shout out to Andy for setting the theme up. Tanqueray.
Yes.
Did you drink it? Were you drinking Super Psycho and gin and juice, gin and orange juice?
I was 10 years old when that song came out, so I was not.
Okay, I'm just talking about at any point. I'm not necessarily when it just.
I think by the time
ever on the drink list.
I think by the time I came of age, Sacco was no longer in production.
I can believe that.
So I did not get a chance to do that, and so Tanqueray wasn't really my thing. I'm a tequila guy.
Okay,
yeah.
Always have been. Like
yes,
when you first started drinking liquor.
Rip. Well, vodka and then tequila. Okay. It was a very quick transition, and now I drink Hennessy. So.
Like that dark.
Well, I'm an old black man now, so it's the official.
And that's the official step into it.
African American man of over 40. Yes,
I heard that. Uh-huh. Well, you were locked into hour 2 of RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. This is the show where we hit all the trending topics and headlines across entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture. And look, Drea Michelle has always had one of the baddest bodies, you know, from the Instagram baddies, right? Especially from her era. I consider her in like the 2000s. What? Why are you laughing?
I'll tell you in a second because I'm just...
Okay. Well, anyway, she gave up to the Shade Room her plastic surgery secrets. You know, people have always debated on if her body was real. She talked about getting her breasts done and that she got them done way too large, so she had those implants removed and got smaller ones. She also discussed getting what is the problem? Share with the class.
Nothing. I'm waiting on you to finish your story, but you know I love cosmetic surgery. So, you know, just go ahead. Just
she
don't
got a
mind
reverse tummy tuck, which deals with the upper abdomen. Most tummy tucks tighten the lower abdomen muscles that poke out. For her, she felt that the top of her stomach wasn't as flat as she would like it to be, so she got a reverse tummy tuck. But people have always wondered about the booty, and she has always maintained that she didn't have a BBL, and I believe her. And so now she has come clean and said that it is still not a BBL that she actually got butt shots. You know, butt shots were illegal. It's what Black China got, Nicki Minaj, K. Michelle. Please share with the class, Trent.
So I had food poisoning a couple weeks ago, and I didn't really go into detail, but a week ago, I went into the production office, and I was walking funny, and one of the guys that I managed, she said, "Oh, you've been gone a long time. You went and got a BBL?" And I hollered because I was like, "Whoa, that is hilarious," considering I was away from the production office for a while, and when I came back, everyone's looking like, "Oh, you look so refreshed. What happened?" And I'm just like, "Just calm down." So the inside joke was when I went and got a BBL and a facelift while I was
while you were out with food poisoning.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen.
That's what I was laughing at.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I did get a refresh, but it wasn't a BBL.
My goodness. Well, shout out to Drea for keeping it real.
Butt shots.
And, you know.
Are they legal now?
No. But, I mean, here's the thing. I think that is very before BBLs became more price accessible. Mm-hmm. I think that's what a lot of the girlies were doing. You
they
know,
have payment plans for those now. For the people who can't.
BBL is different from butt shots.
Yeah, but I'm saying they have payment plans for BBLs.
They do. They have payment plans for any of that.
All of
breasts,
mm-hmm.
veneers,
mm-hmm.
you know, or you could.
Hyaluronic fillers.
All of it. Anything you want. I'm sure they have a place that you can go and say, bill me later.
Yeah. And sometimes it's in the artist's budget, as we learned with Toni Braxton's movie.
I mean, listen, a little nip tuck here, a little refresh. It absolutely is. There's lots of things that can come in artist's budget, writers that they include. What I was once told is everything is negotiable.
Yes, everything.
As far as business, that's what we're talking about, you know. Trent, you sound like everything.
Well, I was just going to say shout out to Pebbles.
For giving the benefit?
No, for telling us what's in an artist's budget.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. We're going to talk about Snoop and what he had to say about promoting these alcohol brands. And, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about Steph Curry, too. He is producing a documentary on a Bay Area legend. So all of that and more, you're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose America.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So, in addition to today being Jeezy's birthday, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this because, you know, I'm a West Coast girl. I'm always going to shout out some West Coast stuff, and it involves hip-hop. 35 years ago today, guess what artist dropped their first official single?
35 years.
35 years ago, West Coast hip-hop. Andy, you have no clue.
Wait a minute.
Nope, 35. Snoop came out in 93 with Deep Cover.
So that's 1988.
1988. Nope.
Nope. Ice Cube came out in 90, 91.
90.
So that's too early.
Nope.
No.
Nope. I'm going to blow your mind right now.
Okay, so wait, is it... Oh, you said West Coast.
West Coast.
Are we talking about L.A. or are we talking about...
West Coast. I said West Coast for a reason.
So MC Hammer.
Boom. Let's get it started.
That's right. I knew I was going to win this because I was like, all right.
Let's get it. Now your party was
yes.
Uh-huh.
That's
DJ
the only one.
Weak.
Yes. Uh-huh. That makes sense.
Pump. Shout out to MC Hammer, man.
Yes.
Because the reality is, when you think about it, right?
That man had all of Oakland on that stage and hired everybody, changed lives. I love
lives. MC Hammer had a doll. He had a Saturday morning cartoon.
A cereal.
He had cereal.
Yes.
He is what all of these rappers.
And shout out to him because he did a drop for my show.
Did he really?
He did.
Shout out to MC Hammer.
Love him.
Stanley Burrell. And heavy in the tech game. So,
and TBN.
What is TBN?
The
Bible?
The Trinity Broadcasting Network.
Oh.
You didn't know he was on TBN?
No.
Yes, he was.
I didn't know.
He loves Christ.
Okay.
Is a believer.
I mean, yeah. I knew he was heavy in the tech space. I remember he used to jump on Clubhouse and do some of those things. Anyway.
I love Hammer. Wow, that took me back. I was really excited for him.
Let's Get It Started was a bop. Performance, energy, you know.
Pumps and a Bump, that still goes.
Pumps and a Bump was later, though. Pumps and a Bump was 93, 94.
Yeah, that's his last one.
Last one coming back. You know, people had said he went too commercial with the Kentucky Fried Chicken commercials.
And he had to let y'all know that he was from the town.
Right.
And put on a beanie and let y'all know. Thugging.
Stepping. Pumps and a Bump. Hitting those pops.
I love it.
At any rate.
And can still dance at 60.
Is Hammer 60? Is that how old he is?
Something like that, yeah.
Dang. Okay. Shout out to the chat. They're running it up. Forensic Accountant says, I still have that album. Pump It Up still goes. 61.
61.
Okay. Shout out to it. That's early hip-hop.
I love
Real
that.
hip-hop.
Wow, yeah. Oh, wow. That brought
Great
me back.
Memory,
It was.
Right?
It was.
So continuing on with that Bay Area theme, I mentioned Steph Curry, right? So Steph is
a Pisces.
He's a Pisces. He's also producing a documentary on Bay Area legend Mac Dre. He's a rapper. He's the one, you know, as the Afro. I don't know if you remember. I think it was after the first Warriors title that there was a mural that was done with Steph in a famous Mac Dre pose, because Mac had an afro or whatever, something like that. He put on for the Bay. He was instrumental as far as the launch of the hyphy movement in the Bay Area in the 2000s. And he was murdered in 2004 in Kansas City. A vehicle pulled up on the side of his van and began firing. So Steph is behind the documentary to bring his story to the masses. So shout out to him. We know he's been producing a couple of other things, staying true to that Bay Area connection. I think it's an interesting thing.
I love that.
But do you think Steph really listened to Mac Dre?
Maybe. You never know what people are listening to or what people were exposed to on the weekends at their cousin's house. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So I remember all of my musical taste from the 90s on is because of my cousin Tuesday and all the time I spent hanging out with her on the weekends.
You think they had cousins on the West Coast bumping Mac? Well, they could have been off there.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see. Well, shout out to them. I appreciate it. You know, keeping it lit, keeping himself in the mix. Speaking of West Coast rappers, you know, keeping it real regional for us here.
Yeah.
A theme. You like that? You like how they connect? So Snoop Dogg recently said in an interview on his GGN YouTube show, he was talking with Tiffany Haddish, that he does not drink any of the products made by the alcohol brands he endorses. Any. So as I said, he has a wine with 19 crimes. It's pretty good, by the way. Don't drink it. His Cali Red, I think that they had a rosé as well. Corona, which he endorses, doesn't drink it. At one point in time, I think he had like St. Ides.
That kind of makes sense though. Like,
what?
How many black people drink Coronas? Like,
I think black people drink Corona.
They do, but like not in like mass numbers like that. You know, like they just got cases of it sitting around chilling at the house.
I mean, but I think they drink it.
They do, but it's not their first choice.
If they're gonna drink what's their first choice for beer?
I don't know. It depends on it gets weird regional because, you know, I was just in the Midwest, so, you know, I saw my uncles and everybody drinking the Miller High Life, and I was like, is this what we're doing? But I also sit around, and most times black guys pull out Heinekens.
Oh, okay. See, I wouldn't know. I don't drink beer.
Yeah. And depending on, you know, where we are, like,
I do remember hearing Heineken in rap songs back in the day, so that tracks.
Yep.
Okay. But, you know, I just thought it was interesting that he specifically has a wine line, and he's like, nope.
He doesn't strike me as a wine drinker, though. In my mind, like, he's probably one of these people that, like, tasted the product to make sure, like, it was, like, cool, and then, like, that was it, you know?
So this is what he said. I don't drink none of that ish. And they know what it is. It's like, Ninja, you don't pay me to drink it. You pay me to promote it. I'm not here to get drunk. And
well, there it is.
He said, I'm here to get money.
There it is.
I'm not here to get drunk. I'm here to get money again.
I love it.
Emphasis. So I'm not mad. You know, only Snoop could pull off something like that. I feel like Snoop, Shaq, who else would I slot in that? You know, as the ultimate pitchman of our generation, you know, kind of back in the day, we saw George Foreman hocking those gills. Right. That's what I kind of liken Snoop and Shaq to right now. Anything for the coin. I'm not mad at them about it per se, but I do wonder, is it a slight to the audience? Like, do you still expect when it's a celebrity endorsed product, you know it's promo, we all know that, but do you expect them to have some type of affinity for the product? Do you expect them to use it? Do you feel a little duped if they don't at all?
Here's the thing about that. See, I'm different. Like, I'm not gonna I don't necessarily jump on a bandwagon if a celebrity is endorsing a product. I'm probably not going to jump on the bandwagon if they're endorsing a product unless I've used it myself and I was like, oh, I can get with that for sure. But nah, I'm not doing that. Like, I like what I like. I'm my own person. And if I do take a recommendation, it's usually from my friends or somebody, you know, who has tried it, or I see something and it's appealing to me, not because a celebrity endorsed it.
Truemonger says a big chunk of celebrities don't use things that they get paid to endorse.
Yeah.
We know that, but I am talking about a wine line with his face on it. I'm just asking again. He also has a food line that he puts out and things of that nature. So I think with certain things, again, I don't. Am I mad if Samuel L. Jackson doesn't have a Capital One credit card? Because he's asking what's in your wallet with with Magic Johnson and Charles Barkley and whoever else is in that commercial. No.
Now, it's so funny. I'm thinking about Bobby Brown and his spices and his like barbecue sauce.
But he uses them and he makes them.
But he uses it and he's into it. Like he's out cooking, doing demonstrations with the seasonings. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
have you tried those before?
I have not.
Now that I want to try, and it's only because I saw him using it, and I just contradicted myself.
I heard that they're really, really good.
But I'm also into cooking, so like,
me too.
And I know, and I've had his food before, so I know that he can actually cook. So
Bobby,
yeah.
I don't think I've ever had Bobby cook for me.
Really, you haven't just been out there and
never had Bobby cook for me. No.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, he can actually cook.
Aubrey Sinclair says Sam Jackson actually does use Capital One. That's good, but my point was I'm not offended if he doesn't in that regard. Like, I don't expect for certain things.
I'm not either.
But with wine, right, there's certain things I would expect you to at least, if you're going to have your face on it.
But see, in my mind, I feel like he tasted it and was like, yeah, that's cool. I could put my face on it. Like, he endorsed it. And like, I don't think that he's just like completely ignoring it, but we also know that he is a heavy smoker, so he might not even be a drinker at all. And that might be his reason, because most smokers aren't typically drinkers.
That's fair. I roll with that. So Snoop, we know, will endorse a lot if the coin is right.
Yes.
Do you feel that cheapens an artist or a celebrity's aesthetic if they're like, oh, you want me to shout that out? I got you. Is that just part of the thing, or do you think that they should be more selective with where they lend their name?
And I would like for people to be a lot more selective, because I know that if I ever get endorsement opportunities, I know that you can trust that like this is something that I stand behind, or I like, or I've used myself. Like I don't like duping people. I feel like that's like bad karma, and I don't like to be a liar. So, I don't. That's just me personally.
Too. I feel like that too. I don't, if it's not something I really would use, or if it's not a product that I would like.
Like, even on my show, like when I talk about stuff, it's like, I'm telling you, like, I did this myself, or I used it, or I tell, something like that. I'm not just, saying because somebody threw me some dollars. Like, no. And people have asked me to talk about stuff, and I'm just like, no, I'm not talking about it because I don't like it, and I don't feel, and I'm clear about that. Like, if I like it, like, I automatically pump it up. And I tell people about it just on GP, like not even for money, because I believe it's a good product, or it's good, or something like that.
Nah, I'm with that. Truemonger says be more selective, but there are many that lack integrity.
True.
So they do.
And people can sense that when something is real and when people are into it, and then there's also a consumer market, people who just love to consume, and that's what they do. There's nothing wrong with it. It's what makes the world go round.
And then too, here's the thing though, promote, right, is just that, promote. Yes. You don't have to necessarily be married to it. Excuse me. I guess it's that thing too where we talk about, are you using your lifestyle to push certain things out there? At this point, like I said, Snoop is not someone I just think when he shows up sometimes in some of this stuff that he's just being almost, and I'm going to say this is probably going to sound a little more negative than what I mean, a caricature.
I was going to say a character.
Like he's just there to like, oh, I'm going to give you the Snoop Dogg thing, and it's just it's whatever. It's like when someone puts a mic in your face and says, can you do a drop for me?
True.
That's it, you know? So I'm not mad at it, but there are some people that I'm like, you're trying to sell a dream out to these people back in there. Keith Smith in the chat says, Karl Malone back in the day endorsed Rogaine hair product, and that fool lost his hair after. Keith, you are being insensitive.
I love it. And Andy loved it too.
Look. That's funny. Well, since you brought up Lakers, I guess I can talk about this Laker ring holder that was getting at a young Instagram baddie in the comments the other day. So, Rick Fox, right?
I love Rick Fox.
We talked about Brittany Renner last night, right? Mm-hmm. And about her views on HBCUs and how she was treated, and also how everyone was had very strong opinions in some cases about her body count, right? And her putting that out there. Well, Rick retweeted a video from Club Shay Shay, the podcast that she was on. And he said, hey, Shannon Sharp, so many questions. Because remember, Brittany says that she only likes black men, even though she's biracial, right? So Rick says, so many questions. When she says black, where does she draw the line? I'm just asking for all the one-drop brothers and sisters out there who are aspiring to be number 36 through 50. One-drop rule, race in America, race to 36, half a bill.
Rick Fox need to quit playing. See, we gonna have to call. I was about to look into that camera and call him by his full government name. Rick Fox, stop playing, sir. Come on, bro.
Listen, he was serious.
You got that caramel skin. You over there, cat daddy, and we consider you black. Okay, stop playing.
No. That's not what he's biracial.
I know.
And she's biracial, but she says she didn't want, he's just trying to be number 36 through 50.
And I said this on the show a couple weeks ago that men like experienced women, okay? And like I said last night, 35, or what is it, 31? 35, whatever it was a fairly low.
35. That's why he said he wants to be 36.
That's a fairly low number for a young lady in these days. And I said that last night. And Rick Fox, go ahead. Rick Fox, listen, he can slide all up in her, and I'm telling you, that is going to be a love connection. He is a single free agent, and he's out
6'8",
and he is out here in these LA streets. Okay.
Listen, Pretty Brown Mimi says Rick Fox is a mess. Aubrey Sinclair says Pretty Ricky is going to be number 36.
Absolutely.
True Monger says Rick Fox is old enough to be her father.
And she loves it.
He's probably older than her father, realistically. Brittany's 31. Rick is how old? 53?
He's not 60 yet?
No. Heck no.
Are you?
I'm positive.
57?
No. Rick Fox is 54.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rick.
Trying to age Rick Fox. When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. We'll get into, maybe more about old Rick Alexander Fox. I don't know. I thought that was wild business. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it though.
I mean,
and I love Rick Fox.
It's right along his line of what he likes. If you think about it.
Okay. Well, listen. If they link up, we want to know about it. She was already hanging out with Shaq, former teammate. But that's another story for another day. When we come forward, you'll have more trending topics and headlines. News and sports is up next.
Urban Spinster.
Check in with RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
As I take me a drink to the middle of the street and get to mackin' to this trick named Shady. She used to be my homeboy's lady. 80 degrees when I tell that trick, please raise up off these NUTs, cause you get none of these at ease. As I mob with the dog pound, feel the breeze, say you know I'm just
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. House Republicans held their first meeting in their impeachment investigation of President Biden. Republicans are looking into whether the president improperly profited off of his son Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings while vice president. The Biden administration has denied that claim. Meantime, President Biden is calling out Donald Trump as a threat to democracy. In a speech honoring the late Senator John McCain in Arizona, Biden said the former president is not guided by the Constitution, but by vengeance and vindictiveness. He warned that the so-called MAGA movement doesn't share the basic beliefs of democracy, which he says is at risk. And travelers are keeping an eye on how a looming federal government shutdown could affect flights. Congress has until Saturday to reach a deal to avoid the shutdown. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Hey, if you're thinking of getting the latest iPhone, you need to stop and check out the amazing wireless offer from Boost Infinite. For more, just pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from this station.
On Monday, October 9th, don't miss the KBLA Talk 1580 exclusive, The Tape. 1 year later.
Y'all were coming for us.
Yeah, but Tavis, that's not in my heart. I wasn't coming for anyone like that. I apologize, but that was not me. That's not in my heart. And like I said a few moments ago, I have a solid, demonstrable record of shared power that's real and concrete. That can't be misinterpreted.
Join Tavis Smiley and an all-star panel of political insiders, influencers, and journalists for a look back at the crisis that shook LA City Hall when 4 Latino leaders were caught on tape making racist, demeaning, and derogatory statements about black people and other fellow citizens. On Monday, October 9th, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, The Tape. 1 year later. We'll broadcast live an afternoon drive from 5 to 7 p.m. with an immediate encore presentation from 7 to 9 p.m. When all was said and done, was more said than done. 1 year later. Are there fractures in LA's black-brown political partnership? And where do we go from here? Don't miss The Tape. 1 year later. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Monday, October 9th. Live from 5 to 7 p.m. with an immediate encore presentation from 7 to 9 p.m. We've got a lot to talk about.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like Biz Camp, Construction Career Academy, Bob Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talents, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Any girl, let's play house. And you can show me what that's about. Girl, nobody beat the dub like me. Who you know that beat the dub like me? Girl, I'm gonna lay you on your back. Bam, bam, beat it like that. I'ma do it to you. Yeah, do it to you. I'ma do it to you. If you let me in, girl, I'll do it to you.
Shout out to YG. Shout out to the Dog Pound. Shout out to this real West Coast hip hop. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Thank you for rocking with us, VIPs. I appreciate you so very, very much. And listen, we still have lots of trending topics to get into, lots of things to discuss. So, of course, like everyone, right? We were excited to hear that Usher is going to be dropping at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, February 11th, and that a new album is going to be dropping immediately after that, and then immediately after that, tickets for a world tour. So, you know, he's doing it right. He's setting himself up, right?
I love it.
But the halo effect is starting now. Usher's entire catalog has reportedly spiked at least 16% since it was announced that he will be taking the stage in February. He's been streamed, his new single, Good Good, 1.1 million times between Sunday and Monday following the news.
That's a good song.
It is a good song.
And it's very relevant because so many people got dumped right after COVID.
You know, we not good, but we good.
Yeah, we good.
And, of course, they're hitting off the older joints like Yeah, My Boo, DJ Got Us Falling in Love. I know he's probably going to do that at Super Bowl. I know why, too, but that's not among my favorites.
Is he really?
He might. I mean, that or Oh My God. Like, he's already done Oh My God there, so, you know, maybe. But he's going to do a couple of his techno numbers. And I don't terribly dislike them. You know, I know that there are a couple of people don't really feel the techno. Is it techno, house, electronic dance?
EDM, yeah.
EDM. A lot of people don't feel that era from Usher, you know, but I'll take it a little bit. I don't mind it. Call it Ibiza music.
The 2010s, somewhere up in there.
2008, 2010. It was kind of, you know, it was quiet for R&B during that time, really, if you think about it. It was seeming like, you know, ooh, are we about to finally make the switch away from hip-hop? Nope, it did that U-turn, came right back. You know, so all of them. So the records have reportedly, like, received with those about 2 million streams across those 4 or 5 singles. So, you know, it also is shooting up the charts. Yeah, is debuting again. 149 spots. So it's making a reappearance. And it's gotten like 140% streaming boost on Tidal, which, is connected to Jay-Z. So the halo effect, more money. I'm telling you, Usher's like, when this is all said and done, I got 4 kids now. We're going to make sure all their college tuitions are paid for.
If they weren't already, but he can.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm being funny.
But yeah, he can go up back into R&B obscurity.
Yep,
and chill out.
In the chat, MXXII, I'm thinking they're Roman numerals, but I don't know. So you let us know. But said, it's all a setup for the Illuminati. Snoop Dogg is a puppet for the elite Illuminati. Y'all talking about mainstream stuff. We are. That's an opinion. It is certainly an opinion. Listen.
I am here for Usher and the roller skates at the Super Bowl. If he doesn't do the roller skates,
he's gonna have the roller skates.
He has to,
and the stripper pole. He said
well,
he
I'm not
was
really
bringing
concerned
the stripper
about
pole.
that.
But I'm just saying he's bringing his show.
I want the roller skates, and if I don't get them, I feel like I'm being cheated after I've seen all these clips on the internet now.
I'm really sad that I didn't go to when he did the party for Flippers here at the Palladium. That was dope. Flippers was one of the first skating rinks I ever went to back in the day here in LA.
Mainstream trash. So what should we talk about since we shouldn't talk about mainstream trash?
We're going to talk about what we have been talking about, what I like. I'm just like, so anyway.
I think the 11 o'clock hour might be for this person coming up in 20 minutes. We should stick around for it. There's a topic that I called Jill up about today. I said, we should really talk about this on the show tonight. I can't wait to explore it.
Who is allowed to give black women advice?
If anybody.
If anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So listen, I know everyone has heard that Dame Lillard is heading to the Milwaukee Bucks. We know that was not his destination of choice.
Is he mad or no?
No, I don't think he is. He's excited. But the divorce got really, really tricky and ugly. So details have been released. And the Blazers basically were like, anybody but Miami. I don't care if Miami has the best deal. Anybody that has the best deal but Miami. And if it is Miami, we want all of their assets to make this a thing. Being petty. So when Dame heard that, supposedly on September 5th, he let them know, listen, if it's not going to happen, I want to rescind my trade request and I'm going to be here to work out and show up. So he started showing up for the voluntary workouts. The GM wouldn't talk to him, ignored him, and basically was like, you can't rescind that. Too late. You said no, so bye. Because they want to take back control of the league. They think players have too much power. I think that it is a 50-50 thing because on one hand, when a player comes out and demands a trade to a specific team, it does take away some of the leverage of the team that they're on, and you are signed to that team. But at the same time, Dame Lillard showed you loyalty. He stayed down, and this is why people say nice guys finish last, and you shouldn't be a nice guy, because he did all that. He showed them loyalty. He showed up, showed out. They asked him to sit out the last 10 games of the season last season, and this is why, if you saw, Jimmy Butler said that Portland should be investigated for tampering. Because not only did they say anybody but Miami said they didn't deal with them in good faith. They weren't taking their phone calls or negotiating. They also had Dame sit out the last 10 games of the season to better their positioning for the draft and said, if we get a higher draft pick, we might be able to move you to your place, which is technically illegal under the bylaws. So, listen. It's a mess.
That's why you got to be kind of smart. Even when you are loyal employees or, whatever, when you know that there's like the water's getting muddy, there might be a little blood in the water. You got to start playing, your cards different, hold them to your chest, don't tell every move. And, maybe he shouldn't have spoke about where he wanted to go and just, there's a ways around it sometimes. Got to play smart.
Well, we'll see. People are really excited about the matchup of he and Giannis, and they're going to have a rally on Saturday. He even wrote a parting rap song to say goodbye and issued a letter. It's hip-hop now. It's hip-hop in the NBA. So you got to express, that emotional side of you. You got to put it on wax.
Yeah,
or on the stream or something. They're going in the chat. They think that it could be too dangerous for Usher to bring the skates to the Super Bowl and that he might trip and someone might fall. We'll have to see. I need him to bring the skates. That's part of the fun.
I feel like, yes, I'm gonna be cheated after watching him for 8 months and charge people $1,000 a ticket to come watch him skate. Like, I want to see the skates.
Facts. Well, when we come forward, we'll have more trending topics
Football,
and
field or not.
headlines. It's basketball, though.
I'm saying we're at the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. All right, that's right.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Okay. You were right.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I threw you
You're
off.
locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistent scent. On low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
This season, your coffee orders are getting warmer, and your outfits are getting cozier. The world keeps changing, and so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're one of the best ways to help protect yourself against COVID-19. You can get a COVID-19 shot at the same visit as a flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Talk to your healthcare provider to learn more and schedule at vaccines.gov. And don't forget to get extra cinnamon spice. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCES scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
Welcome back in, VIPs. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Now, the chat, they're very opinionated about this Super Bowl stuff in the NFL. Anthony Washington asks, do you think the NFL is going to get tired of Jay-Z bringing in black artists to do the Super Bowl? First it was Dr. Dre, then Rihanna, now it's Usher. It actually first was Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. So it's not just black artists, but I think that is why they brought him in. And I think that, it only makes sense after Usher. They're going to, and also in that time period, was Justin Timberlake just before? I think he might have been just before. But they've still had pop white acts within there as well. And you got to be thinking that somebody has got to be like, we got to get a Taylor Swift especially when they saw that $25 million viewers that watched the game. They said the female viewership on that particular game went up by like 169% just from her being there. So I would imagine that after Usher, we can expect to see someone like a Taylor Swift or someone in that genre. Because you also think about it, and how many contemporary black superstars or artists are really equipped to handle the Super Bowl 15 minutes. We've kind of,
we've seen them already.
We've seen them. So I do think just by nature of what's out there and the artists that are kind of ruling or, in the upper echelon as far as music acts right now, that it will be a white or a pop act next year. And I think that the acts that they have chosen, they've been, although, urban, black, however you want to term it, it's still been pretty mainstream if you think about it.
Yeah. And
I mean, The Weeknd,
mm-hmm.
Bruno Mars,
Yeah, and we've Beyonce has already had her turn.
And a guest spot.
Yeah, so I was about to say twice. So.
Right. So Urban Spinster says the NFL is still racist even though more black artists are performing at the Super Bowl. Aubrey Sinclair says they use us as the entertainment. That's what the so-called masters do. Well, the NFL is, 70, 80% black? I mean...
But we know what it is, though. It's the same thing with NBA.
I know, but here's the thing, too. I can't get mad at them saying, oh, they're using us to entertain because, one, we're there playing the game. They're giving us artists that a lot of us as fans wanted to see. We didn't get to see a lot of our artists take the stage. We had Michael, the big one. We obviously had Prince, before these past few years, it's only been a few, those special moments. So I don't think that I think we also have to realize album sales, what mainstream music is. A lot of these acts are, in the most technical sense, pop acts, even though they're black.
True.
So, Urban Spinster says she's saying the owners are still racist. Got you, perhaps,
Of course they are.
Pretty Brown Mimi says Taylor Swift doesn't move me.
She doesn't move a lot of people.
But she moved $100 million in pre-sales for her concert movie. And I just illustrated the thing is, so of course she's not going to be for everybody, but the Super Bowl is a global event and it touches families as well, different things. So I'm not saying she necessarily will be, but I definitely think someone has to be thinking about her and in contention. And I hear she puts on a really good stage show. So listen, she might.
Mm.
It just, now, is it going to be different than Beyonce's? Of course, but she might give something. You don't believe it?
What did Aretha Franklin say? Beautiful gowns?
Beautiful gowns, nice gowns. I don't know. I am planning on checking out, not in the movies,
but
literally
who was
when it
really
comes
thinking
up,
about Taylor Swift? 12-year-old little girls?
No, I think Taylor Swift is over 30. I think her fan base
16-year-old little girls?
I think her fan base is a little older than what you guys are giving credit for. But,
But I'm not checking for her. I don't think more people in my age bracket are really checking for Taylor Swift.
Somebody's checking for her.
Not us.
Somebody.
We ain't thinking about her.
But here's the thing. But again, it doesn't have to be for us specifically at the Super Bowl. Be fair.
I am being fair. Ain't nobody thinking about Taylor Swift.
$100 million in movie concert tickets.
We are not thinking.
Billions
Andy,
of dollars.
You thinking about Taylor Swift?
Things.
Okay. Neither is Carrie or Pretty Brown Mimi in the chat, Urban Spinster. Ain't nobody in the chat thinking about Taylor Swift.
Okay. Carrie Webb says, what about Adele? Did she do the Super Bowl? We would not want Adele
she ain't
anywhere
thinking, child, you trying to put us
to
sleep at the Super Bowl. What's she going to do? Come out there and cry? I don't know.
Urban Spinster says, I'm saying the percentage of blacks is low in regards to ownership. Absolutely. There aren't many, and if they are, they're percentage owners. But, we're still involved and heavily up and through there.
Without the artists that are coming through the Super Bowl, it would be boring.
The Super Bowl would be boring?
Yeah.
For you?
I'm just there for the snacks.
For non-sports fans. I got you.
I'm just there for the snacks and the social hour.
Andy?
I love the Super Bowl parties.
I think to answer Urban Spencer's question, this is just my opinion. This could be damage control from the NFL with regards to the Colin Kaepernick situation.
Could be.
Like, let's please the black folk. Let's bring Jay-Z in. Jay-Z's going to bring his crew in.
That is when it came in after the racial reckoning and stuff like that and everything. But look, I think it's a win-win for them both. Jay-Z got to... What I do wonder, and this is something that I said when the start of it, I would wonder if there was some type of program that helped, an executive program to be within the NFL, whether it's the league office or through teams where, minority candidates could be shuttled through. It could be through this music entertainment process because there are entertainment divisions to the NFL and the different leagues or something. But we also want to see more executives in there that look like us, more diversity in hiring. And they're not going to have those shots necessarily, the same way that others may. If you look at the front offices, they're predominantly white males. So that is something that I would have liked to see have been attached to this initiative, but I'm still not mad at the initiative.
Well, shout out to Magic, you know what I'm saying?
Always.
Part owner of the Washington Commanders. So it's happening, but, slow grind.
Speaking of Magic, he was asked about Gilbert Arenas and Steph Curry's interview where they were talking about who's the best point guard. And Magic was like, respectfully, and this goes back to my point earlier about success, right? No one would ever say that Steph Curry is not successful. No one would ever say that Steph Curry did not change the NBA, right? But Magic was like, well, when he gets 5 rings, 3 finals MVPs, however many regular season MVPs, and something else, then maybe you could say he's better than me or the best point guard of all time. But until that time, it's all about Magic. And I said, go ahead, talk your mess, Magic, because it is true.
And I love that.
As much as, again, success is what you make of it and how you feel and what makes you feel good. If you set out to do something and you're achieving it, you're successful. But there are still social constructs, ideas, levels that define success on other levels. And, we got to acknowledge it.
I love that he nicely checked the young man, because I think anytime that there are legends still alive walking the earth who've set records and they're still here, we have to pay respect to those people no matter what. And that's just it. And even if they need a slight reminder and a slight kick in the butt, I love it. We see it happen when Janet Jackson tours all the time.
Facts. I don't think that Steph was being disrespectful, though. I think
Not
he
at
was
all.
just answering the question. But I do like that Magic was like, hold on. Let me remind y'all.
Yes.
Listen,
how you got here and the shoulders that you stand on.
When we come forward, hour 3 is the after hours.
Oh, here we go.
And baby, we got a topic for you guys based off of a couple of the conversations that we've had all week. We're going to ponder and examine, people are mad at Tyler Perry. They're mad at Ebony K. Williams. They were mad at Kevin Samuels. Who exactly is allowed to give black women advice? All of that and more.
If at all.
If at all.
Got to throw that part in there, because if we don't throw that part, we're going to get in trouble for that too.
We were going to get to that. All of that and more. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. House Republicans